Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Fan Corner. I'm Dave G, and we're talking about some current transfer rumours circulating around the club now that our season is officially over due to losing to Cardiff 2-0. Let's not worry about that. The season was over ages ago anyway. We're not going to be able to get it all done this transfer window. This is the first thing I want to say. We are still in a rebuilding phase. So let's talk about a couple of rumours. So there's Daniel James, I think he's at Cardiff. He was on loan to Shrewsbury or one of those pub clubs in England, England's lower divisions. Not going to make much of a difference. Might be a decent player for the future, but plays for Wales, so could be all right. But didn't make too much of an impact at Swansea. He's a winger. Don't really care. Then there's Jose Felix Squaria, played in the Portuguese league. I think plays for Benfica. Benfica. And I think he's had one good season. I think he was in the reserves or something before that, and he did all right in the reserves, got promoted. He's only like 19 years old, so he's young. Could be a good signing for the future. Chances are Benfica are going to want a lot of money for him, so yeah, maybe. Probably not the signing we need to get our season started next year, but could be a good one in a year or two's time, and these are the type of signings we need to do. We need to start making signings for not next season, but probably for 3 seasons from now, because we're not winning the Premier League next year. I think we ended up on 66 points. City ended up on 98. We're not going to get another 32 points in one season. We'd have to sign a whole new team and basically get rid of 80% of our useless squad. Then there's a few players that might make an actual difference next season. There's Bruno Fernandes at Sporting at the moment, who is 24. I think he's had a decent career. I think he's played in Italy. He's played in Italy. Sampdoria was his last club, and then he played for Sporting. And he's done pretty good at Sporting. He's 31 goals, 65 appearances. Could be the type of player we're looking for. He's a midfielder. Probably going to need someone to replace Herrera, but I don't know if he's that kind of guy. But and someone to replace Mata if he leaves, which it looks like he is. So we're probably going to have to also pay through the nose for that, because we're Man United and we overpay for everything. Which, we need midfielders, but I don't think midfield is our biggest concern right now. Our biggest concern is the defence. And then this is where Idrissa Gueye, the Senegalese defensive mid, might be able to come in. Currently at Everton, he's at 134 appearances. Played at Aston Villa and Lille. 29, he'd be a signing for next season. I'd say he's probably got about 3 years, maybe 4 at the top level. So I would say he'd be someone we would look at and won't give him up lightly. I don't know how long he's got on his contract, but at that age, we're probably looking maybe the 20-30 million mark, hopefully, so it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. I would be open, and I don't think he would come now to sign 25 million out of one season on his contract left. Alderweireld from Tottenham, if we're trying to save next season and try to get back in the Champions League, because our defence is abysmal. But I don't think we're going to make too many signings until we lose some players. I already know that Ander Herrera is gone. He signed for PSG for nothing. Probably our second best midfielder is leaving, and I don't blame him for going. I would leave Man United if I wasn't a fan of the club, because we're going nowhere. Next season we are not winning the league. I think Ander Herrera is 30, 31. He's probably got maybe 1 or 2 seasons at the top level left. He wants to win something, and he ain't going to do it at Man United. Not next season. We're not in Champions League. No one really cares about Europa. All right, it's a nice club. It's a nice competition to win, but it's not where you want to be playing if you're a top level footballer. And the Herrera's gone. Sadly, David De Gea might be leaving. Again, I don't blame him for leaving. I wouldn't hate on him for it. He's given, I think, 5, 6 seasons to us. All right, his first year he wasn't the best, but he's been one of our best players over the past half a decade, and you can't blame him for going. He hasn't had the best season this year. This season I should say. He's made some mistakes. He's let a few through, but the truth is he has won us every season at least 10 points that we wouldn't have had due to his saves. I'd probably even say last season when we came second with Mourinho, he probably saved us about 15 points due to our poor defending, and I don't blame him for leaving. He's probably ended up going to Madrid or somewhere back in Spain. I think he wants £500,000 a week. Look, he's a goalkeeper. He's not worth it. I don't care if he's the best goalkeeper in the world. We've got to start getting realistic with our salaries at Man United. We've got to stop paying players ridiculous wages to underperform. If they did pay David De Gea that money, I would understand it, but I don't think any goalkeeper's worth £500,000 a season. I think he can be replaced if we can get £80 million or better, maybe even £100 million for him. That's one or two good signings, and we've got a good backup goalkeeper in Romero. So even if we didn't replace De Gea initially, we gave Romero a chance. I wouldn't be super worried. But all respects to David De Gea. He's been a fantastic player for us, and if he does go, I don't blame him. I wouldn't boo him if he played against us for Real Madrid, even though we probably won't play Real Madrid next season for any reason. Look, all the best if he goes. I think Alexis Sanchez is the one we all want to see going. I think we're going to have to pay, $13 million. It's rumoured for some clubs to take him. He was a waste of money signing. Look, I don't blame him for taking the money. I don't blame him for coming to United. He's on £500,000 a week to sit on the bench. He's been injured or useless most of the time and out of form. I don't really know what happened to him. He was a great player at Arsenal, great player at Barcelona, but we really it was a really bad signing. We didn't need him. I understand why we got him because he was pretty much on a free, but we did lose Henrik Mkhitaryan, who we paid, I think, 26 million for to Dortmund. It might have been more than that, I can't remember exactly, but so really it was like let's say £30 million signing plus his massive wages. Good to see him go. He's been useless. Honestly, the only game I can say he played well was when we beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, which we lost the FA Cup anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Juan Mata, I think his contract's coming to the end. Been a good player for us. He's always given it his all. His legs are gone. He's probably not good enough at the top level. Good luck to him if he goes back to Spain or if he get wherever he ends up. Seems like a genuinely nice bloke. We got him from Chelsea. Yeah, look, not a huge loss. I mean, he's probably not good enough for Man United or he's probably good enough for Man United at this level, but Man United where we're supposed to be at, he's not quite there. And the two other big ones, Big Rom Lukaku. For me, he was always a mistake of a signing, and we never should have signed him. He's a mid to upper table level striker. He will not get a game in any other top team in the world. I could not see him starting at Barca, Real Madrid. He wouldn't get a game at City. Liverpool wouldn't give him a run. So I don't understand why we paid £90 million for a good striker at Everton. He scored a few goals. Don't get me wrong, he scored a lot of goals. He's still young. He was 23, but he really wasn't worth it. We paid £90 million for a £50 million striker or £40 million striker. And look, we could have signed that other clown that went to Chelsea, so I guess it's best of a bad bunch, but it's just hard to get a good striker out there, and it just shows that Zlatan was actually a very good signing under Jose, and I don't blame Ollie for the way the club is at the moment. I actually blame the board and Woodward and a bit of a lack of vision and ambition from the upper management in the club, because you can't blame Ollie. We've had 4 managers and they've all been relatively piss poor, let's be honest, compared for Man United standards since Ferguson left. Alright, Moyes, you couldn't expect much, he was a joke, but Van Gaal and Mourinho are both world-class managers, and I won't have any of this crap about them being has-beens. They have won everything at club level, and they deserve the credit they deserve. And if they couldn't pull it together, and let's get this straight, Jose was saying the whole time that his players aren't good enough, and I kind of agree. Some of the attitude of players like Martial and Pogba is just absolutely disgusting. Personally, and this is the last one that we're rumoured to go, is Pogba. He can fuck right off. I'm saying this right now. Pogba, you can fuck right off to fucking wherever you want to go. Alright, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's probably on his day one of the best, most talented midfielders in the world, but he is a fucking idiot. Alright, and it's got nothing to do with the hair and the dancing. I don't care about any of that. What I'm telling you right now is under Mourinho, he was down in tools. He was not putting in a shift. He doesn't care about the club, he cares about himself. And for £90 million, he was whatever we pay, £100 million, he is a fucking waste of money. Because you don't need players like that in the end in your squad. It doesn't matter how good you are, you're not bigger than the team. And Pogba, in my opinion, now that Jose's gone, has shown his true colours, because he's no leader. He doesn't turn up when he's supposed to. He plays when he feels like it. He's selfish. He's more interested in his social media than he's actually playing football. And I think he can fuck right off. We don't need players like that. I actually think if it was up to me, I would get rid of about 80% of our starting lineup. Our whole back line needs to go. I know Shaw's had not a bad season, but I wouldn't get rid of him. I'd probably keep him if it came down to it. But if they want to get rid of him, I wouldn't worry about it either. Smalling, Jones, and I can't believe that Smalling just signed a new contract. Young just signed a new contract. This isn't Ollie. This is the actual board. They're signing their players on. Ollie only came a couple months ago, so you can't blame him. And these players aren't of the standard that we want to be at. I'm not saying they're bad players. They're good enough to play at a club like Wolves or Everton or a mid-level team in the Premier League. But for Man United, the biggest or second biggest club in the world, depending on who you ask, these players are fucking shit, and they're on big wages. They're all on over £100,000 a week. Some of them are on more than that, a lot more than that. And it's a joke. The fact that Ashley Young is the captain of Man United shows how shit we are. Other players I'd like to see go that are being rumoured at this stage are Matic. I think his legs are done. I actually think he's a good player, but the speed of the legs just caught up to him. That's what happens when you get old, and you got play a physical game. I think he'd be better suited in maybe Italy or somewhere a bit slower. But he's still a good player, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't suit the Premier League. I already mentioned Smalling. I think he's not good enough. I already mentioned Young. I think he should have been let go at the end of his contract. I think Jones is a liability because he's always injured, but 1 in every 3 games he plays like the best defender in the world, and the other 2 either gets injured. He's just absolutely clueless. I would like to see Diego Dalot in more of a game, so I wouldn't mind if Valencia's departed, but he's retired, so hopefully Dalot gets more of a shot. Darmian probably should go, but he's an alright squad player, so I know he wanted to leave in the January transfer window to go to Juve. They probably should have let him go, to be honest, because he just played 3-4 games this season. So yeah, we need to be clear out. I wouldn't even be disappointed to see play. I know he won't go because he's a Manchester boy, but like Lingard, I think he's a good squad player, but he's on big wages, and if you ask me, there's better players we can get for that kind of money. We need defenders more than anything, though. Like, we need to sign like a Koulibaly, and we need players that can hold the defensive mid, like a Verratti. None of them are going to come. Okay, if you were a world-class player, and unless you were a Manchester United fan, so you're Man U fan probably listening to this, but you wouldn't want to come to Man United right now. The club is a complete shambles. We have no director of football. We have no Champions League football. We're in a shambles of a state. And it isn't just money that's going to fix this. It is a systematic issue from the top down. And we need to start addressing it, because the people that are being held accountable aren't being held accountable. People are blaming Ollie now. They're saying, Ollie out. What's wrong with you people? It's not Ollie's fault. I don't think he's a good enough manager for Man United, but I was happy with his appointment because he was getting the results. And he was better than Jose in terms of his attitude to the media and the players and the club. But you got to give him at least 2 seasons, and you got to back him. And I'm worried about the future of Man United. We're becoming, it's ironic, we're becoming Liverpool 10 years ago. We're becoming a bit irrelevant, along with Arsenal. I think I heard someone say we're has-beens, and we are has-beens. Like, we're doing exactly what Arsenal were doing a couple of years ago under Wenger. We're talking about 6 years ago, 7 years ago when we were at the glory days. We're talking about the days 10 years ago with Ronaldo. That's what Man United fans talk about now, because we got no faith in the club, and we'll support the club to the end. I'll always support Man United, but some things need to change at this club, and I don't think just a few big signings are going to do it. I actually think we need to strip out Woodward or get a director of football who's in charge of the overseeing of the club and the players we sign. And I think we need a bit of leadership. We need to stop. We need to get rid of even Martial. I would get rid of Martial. Bloke's more interested. Look, don't get me wrong. He's a footy player. He's a soccer player or football player, depending on which country you're sitting in. And he's more interested in smashing birds and having like 30 kids having a good time. Don't get me wrong. Don't blame him for doing that. But you can't. You shouldn't be on the cover of magazines where you're cheating on your wife when your club's sitting sixth and you're playing for Man United. You should have your head in the game. What you do in your personal life, I don't really care about. This is what I say about Pogba. I don't care about the dancing and the media and all that. But you don't pull this shit out when you're playing the football that we're playing. We're sitting on the. Yeah, like I think to myself, like you get your head in the game because you're getting paid good money for it. You're playing for the biggest club in the world, the best club in the world, in my opinion. But at the moment we're just a shambles. And I hope things improve after this summer. And I don't expect to be challenging for the title next season. I'd like to see Spencer Sawyer. I hope we win the Europa League to get us back into the Champions League, but at this stage it's tough times for Man United. Leave your comments below.